Talk about this one because we've heard now that ex-Minneapolis cop Derek Chauvin is appealing his conviction for the on-camera murder of George Floyd.
Yeah, this week, an art installation called SeeInJustice is going up in Manhattan, remembering Floyd and two other figures. Take a look at this one. This is of George Floyd. He, like the others, the bust is 10 feet high on top of a base.
So another one of the statues is a bust of Breonna Taylor. She was shot by police returning fire while using a no-knock warrant. Her boyfriend fired at them, believing they were break-in robbers, resulting in her tragic death. Now, New York artist Chris Carnabuci sculpted these tributes. He's had his work displayed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Carnabuci developed his techniques working in precision-cut wood.
Here's the final piece. And once again, when I actually do the installation, I'll have long screws that'll secure each one of these blocks together.
So impressive. The third statue that will be on display, Georgia Congressman John Lewis, the prominent civil rights leader who died last year.
And we have both Terrence Floyd, George's brother, and sculptor Chris Carnabuci with us live. Thank you both for being here. Good morning to both of you.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Let me just start with you, Chris, because these are absolutely stunning busts that we are seeing.
Thank you.
You have a degree in English lit. How did you learn this kind of sculpting skill?
Well, it makes sense, right? English lit straight to sculpting. I don't know. I guess it just took a while for me to find my calling. I've been doing the CNC work for about 10 years now, and I've put out a few sculptures, but only a couple that have been actually for public exhibition. I found myself from actually I was an English major, as you mentioned, but I was actually working on Wall Street for a while there, and soon determined that I didn't like that at all. So, every year I sort of stepped down lower and lower into the bowels of art until I found myself at a shop with a CNC machine. I taught myself how to use it, and this is the result.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this installation and the meaning behind it?
Well, when it started with, first of all, when George Floyd was killed, the world came to a stop and reacted. And I remember sitting with my wife, Paula, watching as the story unfolded, and she turned to me and said that I should do a sculpture. And I did so in an effort to capture this historic, significant moment. And then shortly after that, I did a sculpture of Breonna Taylor and then one of John Lewis. And these sculptures became the scale models for the larger pieces that make the SeeInJustice exhibit. And, art serves many purposes. One is that it creates an environment for civil discourse, and where we can discuss our differences and maybe even come to an understanding of each other's perspective. And that's sort of where I'm going with this.
I want to bring Terrence into the conversation right now because, Terrence, I understand you are in Brooklyn, right? So first, what do you think of these art installations here, and how, more importantly, have you seen or not seen New York in particular change since your brother's death?
Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. First and foremost, as far as these pieces, I feel they're very wonderful. And I feel that when Chris came to me via Confront Arts, and I seen these beautiful masterpieces, I really understood where he was going with this. And I'm in agreement with him, and I see that it's going to bring forth change, especially in New York and all around the country. And since my brother's death, I've, me and my other family members, and of course people around the world, been protesting and trying to make this world a better place, and around systemic racism. And I've seen a lot of changes, not major changes, but everything starts off slow anyway. So the change is slow, but change is coming, and I see it.
At least there is progress. That's always good to see, right?
Right.
Chris, let me ask you a quick question. What influenced you to choose the three people that you chose to sculpt?
Well, I think George Floyd and Breonna, there's a commonality between the two of them. And I just thought as well, since the exhibit is called SeeInJustice, I mean, certainly John Lewis, as one of the original civil rights activists who dedicated his whole life to fight injustice, I mean, it made a lot of sense to have him included. And ironically, I had decided that and completed that initial sculpture a week before his death. So it just sort of brought everything together. So he obviously saw injustice in a different way.
Yeah, and you know, you actually, you went on to say earlier, and I thought it was so profound too, what you said, just that art really makes you feel and think. And so, Terrence, let me ask you this. As people go to see these, right, when they're on display, what do you hope that people walk away thinking, feeling after they see these?
Well, when they see, I hope they feel what I felt, you know, and I felt, like I said before, change. And I want people not to just look at these sculptures and walk away with, oh, that's beautiful. No, I want you to walk away with the thought of changing your minds, changing the way you think about Black and brown people, the way you think about people in general. All of us are human beings, and all of us have human rights, and all of us have a purpose in this world, and we all have to understand that. And if we understand that and come together in love and art, which art is a form of love, you know, this world will be a better place, and that's what I want them to walk away with.
Yeah.
And again, where can we see these? It's being installed this week?
Sure. So the installation is open to public view on September 30th at Union Square, and it'll run through October 30th.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Looking forward to seeing them.
Terrence Floyd, Chris Carnabuci, thank you both for being here and for your voices. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.